You ever see poker chips explode across a marble floor in slow motion? That's how my little war started. Right there on my imported Italian stone, as Vivian Ashcraft, the HOA president herself, slammed her manicured fist on my table and declared, "This mansion belongs to the community now." I swear the echo was still rattling the windows as her three goons in $1,000 suits just stood there, nodding like bobbleheads at a car show. Thing is, she had no idea my old man had been tracking her shady gambling for half a year, and in 48 hours, she'd be swapping that pearl bracelet for a pair of federal handcuffs. But let me back up a sec, because this mess started with what I thought was the dumbest and most expensive mistake of my life. Name's Darius Thornfield, 34, architect by trade. And about 3 weeks back, I found myself dropping $2.8 million at a private auction on a Cliffside mansion in Ocean View Heights. Never toured it, never set foot inside. Just something about the place called out to me, you know? My dad always said, "Location, Darius. Trust your gut." This place. A symphony of glass, steel, sunlight, and Pacific waves, every inch designed to impress. Infinity pool melting into the horizon, imported marble, smart home, everything. You get the picture. The very day I moved in, as the sunset turned the water gold and my life felt like it might finally be on the upswing, I heard those expensive heels on my driveway. Vivian glided up like a CEO at a hostile takeover, in a cream blazer that probably cost more than my first car, her smile sharp as a fresh razor. Behind her, 3 suits fanned out across my property, scanning every inch like they'd rehearsed it. She cut to the chase, shoved a stack of documents in my hands, and told me I needed to sign community access agreements. Sounded innocent enough, but my architects I could spot a scam in a blueprint. The fine print. They wanted access to my private beach, free reign of my guest house for their parties, and, get this, the right to host community events in my living room. That was their opening move. I pushed back, polite but firm, told her I needed a lawyer to look things over. That's when the threats started. Fines, legal complications, social isolation. Her words, not mine. I spent that night deep diving into Ocean View Heights history, and, man, what I found made my skin crawl. This HOA wasn't just bossy. They'd orchestrated 3 families into selling their homes for pennies on the dollar after hitting them with bogus community access demands, then burying them under violation notices for everything from mailbox color to unsightly kids' beach toys. Classic extortion, legal paper trail, and all. Next morning, the escalation was right on cue. Vivian returned with her pet lawyer, slick, mid-50s, gold cufflinks, the whole act. He slid a new stack of contracts across my table. Permanent easement rights to my beach, my guest house, my pool. In return, they'd waive $12,000 in HOA fees. Yeah, right. I handed it back. He went cold. Ocean View Heights operates under special provisions, he started, but I'd heard enough. Told them I wanted to see the original development agreements at Friday's meeting. Vivian's eyes glinted. She wasn't used to hearing no. That night, a knock at my door. Only it wasn't more goons, but my neighbor, Beatrice Sterling. She was this sharp, silver-haired lady who'd seen it all, and she'd come to warn me. Turns out, the HOA had bullied out the Morrisons, a family with 3 little kids, using the same playbook. Fines for landscaping, fines for mailbox color. Then, the kicker, rumors of community wellness centers that were never about wellness. Beatrice had noticed late-night construction, men in black SUVs, strange equipment. Document everything, she said, lowering her voice. Vivian's got friends in local government, and she doesn't lose. I barely slept. Thursday, the harassment leveled up. My power went out, only at my house. Internet, cell, everything dead. Neighbors, lights on, kids watching TV. I found fresh tool marks on my electric meter. Utility company said, "Nothing wrong on our end. Maybe call an electrician. Next available slot is Monday." So I set up backup power, made sure I couldn't be cut off again. Right after lunch, a county inspector showed up on a tip, measuring every stair tread, every railing, hunting for code violations from building standards that didn't exist when the house was built. "You'll get a list of compliance issues and fines next week," he said. The pattern was crystal clear: paperwork, pressure, isolation. You know what I mean? Classic playbook. But here's where things twisted. That night, digging through county archives, I found a smoking gun. Original development permits with strict environmental protections, federal oversight, noise restrictions, coastal habitat rules, the works. Even better? My dad's signature on half the paperwork. He wasn't just a judge. He'd helped write the rules that made Vivian's casino dreams illegal from day one. The land beneath my house held limestone caves once used for prohibition smuggling. Now, they'd make perfect escape routes for someone running a secret gambling den. My old man, turns out, had positioned me as bait, and I'd just walked into the biggest sting operation of my life. By the time Friday's meeting rolled around, I was ready. The community center on the Morrison property? It was a fortress, reinforced walls, industrial ventilation for cigarette smoke, security cameras, commercial-grade power. Not for book clubs, this was built for gambling. Inside, the meeting room buzzed with strangers. Way more folks than the HOA could possibly represent, dressed like high rollers at a Vegas table. Vivian tried to railroad me. Thornfield is endangering the community by refusing access. She clicked through slides, red arrows all over my property, painting me as the villain. Some folks in the room started to fidget, cameras out, notepads open, like they were expecting a show. That was my cue. I plugged my phone into the AV system, pulled up permit records, construction blueprints, and photos of the Morrison Wellness Center being retrofitted for slot machines and cash cages. Vivian's face drained of color, but she tried to pivot, accused me of spreading lies, but the evidence was ironclad. Then I dropped the bombshell. Her arrest records from Nevada and Arizona, mugshots, FBI case numbers. The room exploded. Half the audience tried to bolt for the exits. And right on cue, those community members in the crowd flashed FBI badges. Doors crashed open. Agents swarmed in, handcuffs clicking faster than poker chips on a hot streak. My dad, Judge Harrison Thornfield, walked in calm as a sunrise, told Vivian, "We have unfinished business." Her network, her bribes, her entire criminal web, all going down at once, right here in a fake community meeting. The assets? Seized. The illegal casino? Bulldozed and turned back into protected coastal land. The families Vivian destroyed? Compensated, finally able to return. 6 months later, I was standing on that same deck, ocean breeze on my face, coffee in hand, watching the community heal. Property values soared, the HOA replaced with actual neighborly management, new laws in Congress bearing my family name, making sure no one could ever run this kind of scam again. Dr. Isabella Winters, the trauma counselor assigned to the victims, became part of my life in ways I never expected. Healing a community heals you, too, I guess. Funny thing, I'd bought that mansion on a whim, thinking it'd be my escape. Turns out, it was ground zero for justice. Vivian's in federal prison, her network scattered, and Ocean View Heights is what it always should have been. A place to build a future, not a target for the greedy. Our story hit the news, went viral, changed laws from coast to coast. I get letters every month from folks saying, "Your courage saved our family. Makes all those sleepless nights, all that fear, worth it." So here's what I know. Bullies only win if you stay quiet. Document everything. Stand your ground. Sometimes the quiet neighbor is actually the judge's kid, and sometimes the guy with the weirdest luck is exactly who you want living next door. If you're in your own HOA nightmare, don't back down. Fight for what's right. And hey, tell me in the comments what you'd do if someone tried to steal your home out from under you. Justice isn't just a word, it's a fight, and sometimes it's the fight that gives you everything. Next week, wait till you hear about the HOA president who tried to steal a veteran's service dog, not knowing his brother was a federal prosecutor. Now that justice? Even sweeter.